Has it ever happened to you that you sleep all night and still wake up exhausted? Or worse, do you feel like your sleep is not restorative and you don't even know why? Chances are you're making mistakes that sabotage your rest every night without even realizing it. But don't worry, because today I will reveal the 10 most common sleep mistakes and how to fix them with strategies backed by science and sleep experts. And here's the interesting part. At the end of the video, I'll tell you exactly how many hours you should sleep based on your age. I'll give you a hint. You don't need 8 hours of sleep. The answer will surprise you and could change the way you rest forever. If you want to wake up with more energy, improve your health and optimize your sleep once and for all, stay until the end. Before we start, if you find value in these videos, please subscribe and click the bell to stay updated. Mistake number 1. Drinking coffee at night. Have you ever felt like your brain simply refuses to shut down at night? Imagine this. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling as the minutes pass, and sleep just won't come. The answer to this nighttime mystery might be closer than you think, right in your coffee cup. Many of us believe that coffee only affects us for a few hours, right? Well, get ready to be surprised, because the reality is very different. Coffee, that loyal companion of our afternoons, might actually be a silent enemy of our rest. Did you know that caffeine can stay in your system for up to 10 hours after drinking it? Yes, you heard that right. 10 hours. Imagine you have a coffee at 4 in the afternoon. By midnight, when you're trying to fall asleep, there's still caffeine running through your veins. It's like locking your sleep away without even realizing it. But how exactly does this mechanism work? You see, caffeine is like an intruder sneaking into your brain and blocking adenosine receptors. Adenosine is the substance that builds up throughout the day and makes you feel sleepy. When caffeine takes its place, your brain doesn't get the message that it's time to sleep. It's as if someone disconnected the alarm telling you to go to bed. And this isn't just a theory. A study conducted by the University of Michigan revealed something alarming. Consuming caffeine even 6 hours before bed can reduce total sleep time by an hour. Can you imagine? That coffee you had in the afternoon could be stealing 60 precious minutes of rest. But wait, coffee isn't the only culprit here. Tea, energy drinks, and even that innocent piece of chocolate you eat after dinner can be accomplices in this crime against your sleep. How many times have you fallen into this trap without knowing it? Probably more than you'd like to admit. Now don't panic. You don't have to give up your daily dose of caffeine. The key is timing, knowing when to consume it. Sleep experts have a clear recommendation. For most people, it's ideal not to consume caffeine after 2 p.m. Yes, you read that right, 2 p.m. Sounds early, right? But remember those 10 hours we talked about earlier. By avoiding caffeine in the afternoon, you give your body the chance to do its natural work. Without caffeine blocking the process, your brain can produce melatonin naturally, preparing you for a deep and restorative sleep. It's like giving your body the green light to get ready for the night. But maybe you're thinking, what if I need an afternoon boost? Don't worry, there are alternatives. You can try herbal tea, fresh fruit, or even a short walk outdoors. These options can give you the energy boost you need without compromising your sleep. Mistake number 2, taking late naps. Naps can be incredibly refreshing, but they are a double-edged sword if not managed correctly. Have you ever wondered why sometimes a nap leaves you feeling more tired instead of recharged? The answer lies in your biological clock, that internal mechanism that regulates your sleep-wake cycles. Now imagine your sleep cycle as a pressure cooker. Throughout the day, sleep pressure builds up, like steam in that cooker. When night comes, that pressure helps you fall asleep quickly. But what happens if you release that pressure too early with a late nap? Exactly, you run out of steam for the night. Dr. Matthew Walker, neuroscientist and sleep expert, has something interesting to say about this. According to him, late naps can reduce your sleep pressure, making it harder to fall asleep at night. It's like tricking your brain into thinking it has already had its daily dose of rest. A nap after 3 p.m. can disrupt your circadian rhythm, that internal clock that tells you when to sleep and when to stay awake. The result? You feel like you have jet lag without even traveling. Imagine being in your own home, in your usual time zone, but with your body as confused as if you had crossed multiple time zones. A fascinating study from the University of California found that naps longer than 30 minutes after 3 p.m. can reduce nighttime sleep efficiency by up to 20%. Can you imagine? That means you could be losing a fifth of your sleep quality just because of a poorly timed nap. But not all is lost for nap lovers. The key is in the timing and duration. It's like making the perfect coffee. You need just the right amount at the right time. Experts recommend 10 to 20-minute naps, ideally between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. This is the sweet spot where you get the benefits without the negative effects. Why this specific schedule? Well, it's related to our natural circadian rhythm. Around midday and early afternoon, our body experiences a slight energy dip. A short nap at this time can be just what you need to push through the slump without interfering with nighttime sleep. Now, if you're thinking, but I need my 1-hour naps, I have news for you. Long naps can leave you in a state of sleep inertia, that groggy, disoriented feeling you get when waking up from deep sleep. It's like trying to start a car with a cold engine. It takes time and isn't very efficient. On the other hand, short naps, also known as power naps, are like a quick reset for your brain. You wake up feeling refreshed and alert without that heavy, sluggish sensation. It's like closing all the apps on your phone and restarting it. It runs better and faster. But what if you work night shifts or have an irregular schedule? In these cases, the rules change slightly. The most important thing is to maintain a consistent pattern, even if it doesn't align with the traditional day-night cycle. Your body can adapt to almost any schedule as long as it stays consistent. Mistake number 3, using screens before bed. If you think keeping a consistent sleep schedule is the only secret to a good night's rest, get ready for a bright surprise. Did you know that the little device in your hand could be sabotaging your sleep every night? That's right, that inseparable companion that keeps you connected to the world could also be the culprit behind your sleepless nights. Imagine this. You're lying in bed, scrolling through your social media or replying to last-minute messages. Seems harmless, right? But what you don't see is how the blue light emitted by your screen is tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. It's as if you were shouting at your mind, "Hey, wake up, it's not time to sleep." And your brain, obedient as it is, follows your orders to the letter. But why does this happen? The answer lies in our biology. Our bodies have evolved over thousands of years to follow the natural rhythm of day and night. Sunlight, especially blue light, signals our brain that it's time to be alert and active. When night falls and the light decreases, our body starts producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. Now, here's where modern technology comes into play. Your electronic devices, whether it's your phone, tablet, or computer, emit blue light very similar to daylight. When you use them before bed, you are essentially tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. And this isn't just a theory. Science backs it up. A study conducted by researchers at Harvard discovered something alarming. Using devices before bed can delay melatonin production by up to 3 hours. 3 hours? Imagine how this affects your sleep cycle. It's as if every night you were going to bed 3 hours later than you should. Dr. Anne-Marie Chang, a renowned sleep researcher, found that using devices before bed not only makes it harder to fall asleep, but also reduces REM sleep. And why is REM sleep important? Well, it turns out that this phase of sleep is crucial for memory consolidation, mood regulation, and creativity. So every time you stay up staring at your phone, you are robbing your brain of the opportunity to process and organize all the information from the day. You'd be surprised by the cumulative impact this can have. Imagine that every night you use your phone in bed, you steal 30 minutes of your restorative sleep. In a week, that adds up to 3.5 hours of lost sleep. In a month, almost 15 hours. In a year, you would be losing an entire week of sleep. Do you realize how something seemingly harmless can have such significant consequences? But all is not lost. In fact, there are simple solutions you can implement tonight to improve your sleep quality. Sleep experts recommend avoiding screen use at least 1 hour before going to bed. I know this might sound difficult, especially if you're used to checking your social media before sleeping, but think of it as an investment in your well-being. If for some reason you can't avoid using electronic devices before bed, there are alternatives. Many modern devices come with built-in blue light filters that you can activate at night. You can also get special glasses that block blue light. Although it may seem strange to wear glasses at night, your brain will thank you. Another option is to change the lighting in your room. Warm lights, like amber or red bulbs, do not interfere with melatonin production. You might consider switching your room's lights to these more sleep-friendly options. By reducing blue light exposure at night, you give your brain a clear signal that it's time to rest. It's as if you were telling it, "Hey brain, it's time to turn off the lights and get ready for sleep." And trust me, your body will thank you. You'll find it easier to fall asleep, sleep more deeply, and wake up feeling more rested and alert. Mistake number 4, eating late dinner. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a heavy feeling in your stomach, as if you had eaten a rock? The answer to this nighttime mystery might be closer than you think, right on your dinner plate. Many of us believe that eating late has no impact on our sleep, but science has something very different to say about it. Imagine your body as a factory trying to shut down for the night, but your late dinner is like a last-minute order keeping the machines running. The result? Interrupted sleep and an unrefreshing awakening. Surprised? Get ready, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. It turns out that eating a heavy meal less than 3 hours before bed can reduce sleep quality by up to 30%. It's like asking your body to do 2 jobs at once, digesting and resting. And guess which one loses in this nighttime battle? That's right, your precious sleep. Dr. Michael Bruce, known as the Sleep Doctor, warns us about something crucial. Digestion raises body temperature, making it harder to enter deep sleep. It's as if every late bite is a tiny saboteur of your rest. Have you ever wondered how many nights you've sacrificed without realizing it? Now there are ways to enjoy your dinner without compromising your sleep. Experts recommend having your last meal at least 3 hours before bedtime. This gives your body enough time to process food before you try to sleep. It's like giving your digestive system a break before the big rest. But what if you really feel hungry before bed? Don't worry, there are solutions. If you need a late-night snack, choose foods that are light and rich in tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid that helps produce serotonin and melatonin, the hormones that regulate sleep. Some tryptophan-rich foods include turkey, bananas, almonds, or a bit of natural yogurt. Imagine your dinner as the soundtrack of your night. A heavy, late dinner is like playing loud rock music right before bed, while a light, early dinner is like a gentle melody that prepares you for deep, restful sleep. It's not just when you eat, but also what you eat. Fatty or heavily spiced foods can cause acid reflux or heartburn, especially when you lie down soon after eating. It's like giving your stomach a challenge when it should be relaxing. On the other hand, foods rich in complex carbohydrates like oatmeal or whole grain bread can help you fall asleep more easily. These foods boost serotonin production, which then converts into melatonin, the sleep hormone. It's like giving your brain the building blocks for quality sleep. Now think about all the times you've eaten late and heavy. Do you remember how you felt the next morning? Probably not as rested as you expected, right? That's because your body was busy digesting all night instead of focusing on repair and regeneration during deep sleep. By adjusting both the timing and content of your last meal, you give your body the time it needs to digest properly, preparing you for deep, restful sleep. It's like synchronizing your internal clock with your kitchen clock. When both are in harmony, your body smoothly transitions from digestion to rest. Before moving on to mistake number 5, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you enjoy this type of content as much as I do, comment "I love these videos." Also, let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. I read every comment. Let's keep learning and improving our lives together. Mistake number 5, keeping an inadequate temperature in your room. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night feeling like you were in a sauna or the North Pole? If so, you're not alone. Your bedroom might be working against you, silently sabotaging your sleep every night. Many people underestimate the impact that room temperature has on sleep quality. It's as if we think our body has a sleep mode switch that works regardless of external conditions. But the reality is very different. The renowned Dr. Edouard Esteville, an expert in sleep medicine, reminds us that our body is incredibly sensitive to temperature changes during the night. Imagine this: you're deeply asleep, dreaming about your ideal vacation. When suddenly, without realizing it, your body starts a silent battle against the environment. If your room is too hot or too cold, your sleep cycle gets disrupted, causing you to wake up multiple times throughout the night. It's as if your body is a living thermostat, constantly trying to adjust to an uncooperative environment. Now, you might think, how bad can it be? I don't even notice it. But here's the catch. Even if you don't remember waking up, your body does. Every brief awakening steals precious energy from your nighttime recovery. It's like someone poking tiny holes in your battery while you sleep. By morning, you wake up feeling as if you didn't rest at all. You'll be surprised by what science has discovered about this. A fascinating study from the University of South Australia revealed that there is a golden zone for bedroom temperature. Can you guess what it is? The ideal sleep temperature is between 18 and 22 degrees Celsius, 64 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Outside this range, sleep quality deteriorates significantly. It's as if our body has an internal thermostat programmed to function best within this specific range. Think of it this way. Every night you spend in a poorly climate-controlled room is like trying to sleep in an economy seat on a transatlantic flight. Yes, you might get some sleep, but how much quality rest do you really get? The answer, unfortunately, is very little. And just like after a long flight, you wake up feeling groggy, irritable, and with less energy than you need to face the day. However, there's still hope. In fact, adjusting your room temperature is one of the easiest and most effective ways to improve your sleep. It's like having a secret switch to activate deep sleep mode in your bedroom. Wouldn't it be amazing to sleep like a baby every night, just by adjusting a few degrees on your thermostat? Sleep experts have some additional tips for creating the perfect thermal environment in your bedroom. First, consider using breathable bedding. It's like dressing your bed with its own air conditioning system. Materials like cotton or bamboo can work wonders in regulating temperature throughout the night. Another brilliant tip is to invest in a temperature-regulating mattress. These high-tech mattresses are like having your own personal sleep assistant, constantly adjusting the temperature to keep you in the comfort zone all night long. It might seem like a luxury, but when you think about how much time you spend in bed, it's an investment worth considering. And don't forget the importance of good ventilation in your bedroom. Opening the windows during the day or using a fan can help keep the air fresh and circulating. It's like giving your bedroom a refreshing breath, preparing it for another night of restful sleep. Mistake number 6, having irregular sleep schedules. Imagine your body as a train that follows a precise schedule. Now, what would happen if that train decided to change its route every day? The chaos at the station would be similar to what happens in your body when your sleep schedule is inconsistent. This is one of the most common sleep mistakes, and its consequences can be more serious than you think. Our body has an internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, which regulates many of our biological functions, including our sleep patterns. When we constantly alter our sleep schedule, it's like changing the time on this clock every night. The result? A complete disruption that can leave you feeling like you're in a constant state of jet lag. Dr. Maria Sanchez, a sleep medicine expert, explains, "When we sleep at different times each night, our brain doesn't know when to prepare for sleep and when to stay alert. This can trigger a cascade of problems, from difficulty falling asleep to chronic daytime fatigue." But why is it so hard to maintain a regular sleep schedule? The answer lies in our social and work habits. On weekends, for example, we tend to stay up late and sleep in, creating what experts call social jet lag. It's as if every Monday we were traveling to a different time zone. A study from the University of Pittsburgh found that people with irregular sleep schedules were 45% more likely to develop cardiovascular diseases compared to those with consistent sleep patterns. This isn't just about feeling tired. We're talking about a real long-term impact on your health. So how can we fix this problem? The solution seems simple but requires discipline, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Yes, you read that right, even on weekends. It might sound unappealing, especially if you enjoy long Friday nights, but the benefits are undeniable. Dr. Carlos Ruiz, a neurologist specializing in sleep disorders, states, "Maintaining a consistent sleep schedule is one of the most effective ways to improve sleep quality and consequently overall health. It's like giving your body a precise map of when to produce melatonin and when to stay alert. Implementing this habit can be challenging at first. You might wonder, how am I supposed to stick to the same sleep schedule on a Saturday night? The key lies in planning and making gradual adjustments. Start by setting a fixed bedtime and wake-up time, and try not to deviate by more than 1 hour, even on your days off. One effective strategy is to create a nighttime ritual that signals your body it's time to sleep. This could include relaxing activities like reading a book, meditating, or taking a warm bath. By repeating these activities at the same time each night, you'll be training your brain to prepare for sleep. It's also important to consider the impact of light on your circadian rhythm. Exposing yourself to natural light during the day and reducing artificial light exposure at night can help synchronize your internal clock. Think of it as resetting your biological clock every morning by getting sunlight. You'd be surprised at what a simple change in your sleep routine can do. Many people report significant improvements in their daily energy levels, mood, and productivity after just a few weeks of maintaining a consistent sleep schedule. It's like your body and mind are finally in sync. But what about social events or work obligations that might interfere with your schedule? The key is controlled flexibility. If you know you'll have a late night, try to maintain your usual wake-up time the next morning and take a short nap during the day if necessary. This will help minimize disruptions to your circadian rhythm. Mistake number 7, avoiding sun exposure during the day. The lack of sunlight could be sabotaging your nighttime rest in ways you never imagined. And the truth is, my friend, your body is like a sophisticated plant that needs its daily dose of sunlight to thrive. Imagine for a moment that your circadian rhythm is like an internal orchestra conductor. Without the baton of sunlight, this conductor becomes disoriented, and the symphony of your sleep turns into chaos. The result? Sleepless nights, exhausting days, and a sleep cycle as unbalanced as a juggler on roller skates. But why is sunlight so important for our sleep? Well, it all comes down to a tiny gland in our brain called the pineal gland. This gland is responsible for producing melatonin, the hormone that prepares us for sleep. And guess what? Sunlight is the switch that turns this production on and off. When we expose ourselves to bright daylight, especially in the morning, our brain receives a clear signal. It's time to be awake. This not only helps us feel more alert during the day, but also sets the stage for more efficient melatonin production at night. Now you might be wondering, what if I can't go out in the sun every day? Don't worry, you don't need to become a sun worshipper to reap the benefits. Even on cloudy days, natural light is far more intense than any indoor artificial light. So, even if you don't see the sun directly, simply being outdoors is still beneficial. A study from the University of Colorado Boulder found that people who are regularly exposed to morning sunlight have more consistent and higher quality sleep. Participants who received more daylight during the day fell asleep faster at night and were less likely to wake up during the night. Sun exposure doesn't just improve your sleep, it can also positively impact your mood. Sunlight stimulates the production of serotonin, known as the happiness hormone. So, by stepping outside, you're not only investing in better sleep, but also in a better mood. I have a small challenge for you. For the next week, try spending at least 20 to 30 minutes outdoors every morning. It can be as simple as drinking your coffee on the balcony, taking a short walk before work, or even parking your car a little farther away to walk in the sunlight. Pay attention to how you feel during the day and how you sleep at night. You'll be surprised by the results. And if you live in a place where sunlight is as rare as an oasis in the desert, don't worry. There are alternatives like bright light therapy lamps designed specifically to mimic sunlight. These can be especially useful during winter months or for those who work in windowless offices. Now, here's a golden tip. Combine your sun exposure with some physical activity. Going for a run, doing yoga outdoors, or simply taking a brisk walk while exposing yourself to sunlight can further enhance the benefits for your sleep and overall health. But be careful. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that more is always better. Excessive sun exposure, especially during peak midday hours, can be harmful to your skin. The goal is to find a healthy balance. Consistency is key, and choosing the right times of the day for your sunlight dose is essential. It's also important to remember that sunlight exposure is just one piece of the puzzle for healthy sleep. It should be combined with other good habits, such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, creating a sleep-friendly environment, and avoiding stimulants before bed. In short, my friend, if you've been struggling with insomnia or simply want to improve your sleep quality, don't underestimate the power of sunlight. It's a natural, free, and surprisingly effective remedy for synchronizing your internal clock and preparing your body for restorative sleep. Mistake number 8. Exercising right before bed. Many people believe that exercise is always a sleep ally, but the truth is that the timing of your workout can be crucial for your sleep quality. It's like giving your body a shot of espresso right when it needs to start relaxing. Imagine this. You've had a hectic day and you decide that the best way to unwind is with an intense workout session before bed. You feel amazing, full of energy. And then, when it's time to sleep, your mind and body simply won't cooperate. What's going on? The answer lies in your biology. Intense exercise raises your body temperature and increases cortisol levels, the stress hormone. It's as if you're revving up all your body's engines right when you need to power down. This can seriously delay sleep onset, especially if you work out less than 2 hours before bedtime. Did you know that nighttime exercise can delay melatonin production, the sleep hormone, by up to 90 minutes? It's like pushing your biological clock in the wrong direction. Imagine how many nights of restful sleep you might have sacrificed without even realizing it. Now, not everything is black and white. The effect of nighttime exercise varies from person to person. Some lucky individuals can do an intense workout right before bed and still fall asleep without a problem. Others, however, might feel like they've just had a double espresso. So, how long should you wait between your workout and bedtime? Experts recommend finishing intense exercise at least 3 hours before going to sleep. This gives your body enough time to cool down and begin the natural process of preparing for sleep. But don't think you have to give up movement at night completely. If you need to stretch your legs in the evening, opt for gentler activities. Relaxing yoga or light stretching can be excellent choices. These activities help release tension without triggering your body's alert system. You might be wondering, so is exercise bad for sleep? Absolutely not. Exercise remains one of the best tools for high-quality sleep. You just need to be strategic with your timing. By scheduling your workouts at optimal times of the day, you not only improve your physical performance, but also set the stage for deep and restorative sleep. Think of it as a long-term investment in your well-being. Every time you adjust your workout routine to support your sleep cycle, you're building a habit that pays off in better health, more energy during the day, and a clearer mind. But what if your only option is to work out at night? Don't worry, there are solutions. You could opt for low-intensity workouts, such as brisk walking or gentle swimming. You can also experiment with post-workout relaxation techniques, like meditation or warm baths, to help your body transition into rest mode. Remember, your body is unique. What works for others may not be ideal for you. Pay attention to how you feel after nighttime workouts. If you notice trouble falling asleep, consider adjusting your schedule. Sometimes a small change can make a huge difference in the quality of your rest. Mistake number 9, not doing what you know you should do. Have you ever gone to bed feeling that tingling sense of dissatisfaction, as if you left something important undone? That discomfort you feel is no coincidence. Imagine this. You reach the end of the day, and your to-do list seems longer than when you started. You tell yourself, tomorrow is another day. But deep down, you know you're just postponing the inevitable. That thought lingers, hovering in your mind as you try to fall asleep. Sound familiar? The truth is, this sleep mistake has the greatest impact on our lives. Not doing what we know we should do goes beyond just sleep. We've all procrastinated or avoided important tasks, and deep inside, we know something isn't right. That frustration with ourselves turns into stress, and often it manifests physically: muscle twitches, eye tension, or even insomnia. But why does this affect us so much? The explanation is fascinating. When we procrastinate or avoid putting in the effort, we distance ourselves from our own happiness. Many people think that happiness is something you either have or don't, as if it were an object you could possess. However, the reality is much more dynamic and completely in our hands. The key is to go to bed thinking, "What a great day. I did everything I needed to do. I'm better than yesterday." That should be our ultimate goal, to improve every day. To reach Sunday and proudly say, "That was a great week." It's as if each completed task is a brick in the construction of our personal satisfaction. And it's not just about work or academic tasks. Never go to bed feeling dissatisfied because you left something unresolved with your family, friends, or partner. Those pending conversations, those small unresolved conflicts, become invisible burdens that we carry to bed. Solving them before sleeping can bring you tremendous peace, like taking off a backpack full of stones from your back. Now, I understand that sometimes the list of things to do can feel overwhelming. The solution? Simplify and create systems. James Clear, author of the best-selling book Atomic Habits, has a fascinating perspective on this. He suggests that instead of focusing on grand goals, we should focus on creating systems that make progress inevitable. For example, instead of setting the goal to exercise every day, you could create a system where you leave your sneakers next to your bed every night. When you wake up, the first thing you see is those sneakers, making it easier to choose to work out. It's a small change, but it can have a huge impact on your daily routine. Another trick you can implement is the 2-minute rule. If a task will take less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. You'd be surprised how many small tasks we can complete in a short time, freeing our minds from the constant burden of, "I have to do this." But what about those bigger, more complex tasks? This is where the Swiss cheese technique comes into play. Imagine your task as a big block of cheese. Instead of trying to eat it all at once, you poke small holes in it. Each small progress, each hole you make in the task, brings you closer to completing it. And the best part? Every little success gives you a motivation boost to keep going. Implementing these strategies won't just improve your productivity, it will directly enhance the quality of your sleep. When you go to bed knowing you did everything you could that day, your mind relaxes. There are no intrusive thoughts about unfinished tasks, no guilt over what you didn't do. Instead, you experience a deep sense of satisfaction, allowing you to enter a state of relaxation ideal for restorative sleep. Lastly, mistake number 10, believing in the myth of exactly 8 hours. For years, we've been sold the idea that 8 hours is the magic number for a good night's rest. It's as if we were given a universal recipe for perfect sleep. But what if I told you that this recipe might be wrong for you? The reality is that the optimal sleep duration varies significantly depending on age, genetics, and even lifestyle. Dr. Daniel Kripke, a renowned sleep researcher, conducted a fascinating study that challenges everything we thought we knew. Want to know what he discovered? People who sleep between 6.5 to 7.5 hours live longer than those who sleep 8 hours or more. That's right, less might be more when it comes to sleep. Now, before you start drastically cutting your sleep hours, there's something crucial you need to understand. Your sleep needs change with age, like a suit that adjusts as you grow. Teenagers, for example, are like sleep sponges, needing up to 10 hours to function optimally. Young adults typically range from 7 to 9 hours, while older adults may feel perfectly rested with 6 to 7 hours. But how can you figure out your personal magic number? This is where modern technology comes to the rescue. You'll be surprised by how accurate today's smartwatches and wearable devices are in tracking your sleep cycles. These little assistants can help you discover your ideal sleep pattern. Isn't that amazing? You can literally carry your own sleep lab on your wrist. Imagine this. You go to bed, your watch starts recording your sleep phases, and in the morning, it gives you a detailed report. Do you feel well rested after 7 hours and 15 minutes? Or maybe you need 8 hours and 30 minutes to perform at your best. Over time, this data will help you fine-tune your sleep routine like a musician tuning their instrument. Experts now recommend finding your personal magic number, which may be between 6 and 9 hours, depending on how you feel when you wake up. Do you wake up fresh and ready to conquer the day? That might be your ideal number. Do you feel like a zombie until your third cup of coffee? Maybe you need to adjust a little more. But it's not just about quantity. Sleep quality is just as important. Remember the tips I've given you throughout the video to maximize your rest, no matter what your magic number is. 1. Keep a consistent schedule, even on weekends. Your body loves routine. 2. Create an ideal sleeping environment, dark, cool, and quiet. 3. Avoid screens at least an hour before bed. Blue light is sleep's #1 enemy. Remember, change starts tonight, but don't try to make all the changes at once. As James Clear teaches in Atomic Habits, small steps lead to big results. Focus on one micro-habit at a time. Once you master one, move on to the next. I recommend watching this video again and writing down your action plan. What will you change this week? What adjustments will you make to your daily routine? Watching this video is great, but it won't do any good if you don't take action. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If you've made it this far, write "deep sleep" in the comments, so I'll know who the victorious ones are that made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content like this in the future. Remember to share the video with those who might find it useful. Now, I recommend watching this video to keep learning more about how to improve your health and well-being. A big hug and see you next time.